Hi guys, thank you for joining us this evening. So if you're joining us during this construction hour, today we're going to be covering plumbing and electrical. So without further ado, I am going to introduce the team. So let's welcome Mike and Derek and Nick. How are you guys this evening?
Really good, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
so
very well, thank you.
Just before we kick off today, I thought it'd be really good to just go around, introduce your role in construction and a little bit of your history in that industry. So if we start with Mike, we'll go to Derek and then Nick.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Mike. I'm the Programme Area Manager for the Plumbing and Gas Department. I've been in the plumbing industry for a lot of years now, 38, 39, and it's been a good career so far. And obviously I've progressed through the career and through different stages of the construction industry. And now I'm working at Leicester College. I've been there for 20 years and I've been teaching the plumbing and gas. So all in all, it's not a bad trade to get into. You can work on a lot of different types of buildings, from refurbishment to brand new, and obviously extend your vocation by moving into then being able to teach the apprentices.
That's fantastic. And you, Derek?
Hi, my name is Derek Waters. I'm the Programme Area Manager for Electrical Installation. I've been an electrician for over 25 years. I've been in teaching for about 20 years now. Again, another great opportunity for anyone to get into.
And Nick?
Good evening, my name's Nick Waldrum. I'm Apprenticeship Commercial Manager for both craft and electrical in the Department of APCO at Leicester College. Very similar, I'm time-served electrician from the age of 16. I've been now in education for coming up for 21 years in 2 colleges. And again, just to echo, it's a great trade to be in, both construction, electrical and plumbing.
Fantastic, guys. It's so good to see you guys bringing your industry expertise into teaching. You know, you're practically learning from the best. So without further ado, I'm just going to remove Nick. He'll be back later to talk us more about apprenticeships, but we're going to start with our plumbing presentation.
What you can see is some pictures then on where when you first introduced into the plumbing workshop, you'll discover various different types of plumbing materials that we use: copper pipe, steel pipe, and obviously plastic pipe, which are all used widely now in the construction industry with plumbing installations. You'll notice that they're all in some sort of a frame put together. That's because obviously we'll teach you the basic skills to begin with, which will be bending the copper pipe into formed shapes with the offset bends and right angle bends. Obviously this is better to use bends because you're not using fittings in the in between the floors, but you can and you will have to at some point use soldered joints. Equally, you can be using compression joints where you tighten them up with adjustable spanners, and these in the majority will be in your houses. One of the pipes that are being used more and more so now are the plastic pipes with the push fit fittings. Now, a lot of people see this as being a little bit like DIY plumbing. There's very much a skill to using it properly, otherwise it can cause leaks in the house, which obviously as plumbers you don't want to have to do. Where the installation permits, you may have to use steel pipe. Obviously steel pipe's a lot bigger, a lot thicker, a lot stronger, so you might use that in some of the commercial installations, where the joints are put together by cutting a thread on the pipe and using a screwed elbow or T-piece or a union joint, and obviously different types of clips that will be used for that obviously need to be a lot bigger, a lot stronger, because the pipe's a lot heavier as well. Next. Obviously one of the main installations as plumbers that you'll put together will be radiators, central heating systems. As you can see from the slides, there's various different types of radiator, starting with the towel rail radiator, which is what a lot of people like to have in the bathrooms, because obviously you can hang towels over that. They can be warming or they can be drying even, but provided they're installed correctly, then you will get an amount of heat that will transmit into the bathroom, so it's nice and warm. Then you've got obviously the normal panel radiators, and the ones that we use in the college obviously are a lot smaller, but you'll be in customers' houses, you'll be fitting them a lot bigger. As you can see from the pipework runs, there's various situations where the pipework might come out from underneath the radiator and then be bent into the actual radiator itself, or the pipes might be drop down the wall and then run across and then be fed into the radiator valves, or come straight out of the floor. Now, what you can also see on the second radiator there is the normal radiator valve on one side, and then a lock shield, a thermostatic radiator valve on the other side. So as the room warms up, obviously the temperature can be sensed by the radiator valve, and then it can start to slow the radiator heat down a little bit. Well, these are all knowledgeable facts which you'll also pick up from the theory side, as well as learning how to put in the first slide we looked at was the frames, and learning how to put them together to particular sizes. Then we'll put you on to the slightly smaller tasks, such as piping up the radiators. All of these tasks will be filled with water and tested, so obviously they're not leaking. You don't want to be going to a customer's house and leaks springing up everywhere. So one of the things we like to make sure is that everything that you put together is soundness tested, so to speak. Next. As you can see from this slide, in the top corner, obviously there's a radiator being installed, and you can see the test kit that we use so that it can be filled and tested under pressure. Next slide along, obviously what we've got is some pipe work which has been put into the floor, the plastic pipe, as we mentioned. One of the general types of installations that you'll do is the plastic pipe underneath the floor and the copper pipe above the floor. So it's a little bit harder, so that it won't get knocked around by kids playing with toys, or if somebody's doing the hoovering. So it takes that little bit more of a knock, whereas the plastic pipe might get damaged. In the other corner, obviously, you can see the wash hand basin. So as you progress through, we'll be teaching you how to run a supply from the hot and cold water, and then pipe it up to the wash hand basin, and including the waste pipes as well. Obviously, you can carry cold water and hot water to the sink or wash hand basin or bath taps, but then you're going to have to pipe up the waste pipes to carry away the wastewater. In the bottom slide, you can see there obviously is a wash hand basin and a toilet flushing system. So one of the tasks that, as you progress through the work, as you can see, you've got the copper pipe work, which is being fitted onto the wall. The pipe work's coming down the wall where there's some offset bends. That is then carried down into some soldered fittings, run across the wall, and then piped up into the flushing system and into the wash hand basin. This is one of the tasks, this is one of the assessment tasks that you'll have to do. So all of these pipes have to be fitted plumb, so they run nice and straight down, and level, so they run nice and straight across. Obviously, it's what customers want in their houses, to see pipe work fitted nice and neat, nice and straight. So it's one of the assessment criteria that you have to meet when you do the end assessment. Next. Also, we run an adult evening course where the skill sets are exactly the same, but the only difference there is where the age difference might be slightly different. With the during the day, we tend to get a lot of the young guys straight from out of school, and girls, very popular with the girls as well, straight out of school, where they'll obviously, as we've mentioned, learn those skills and those trades and progress through a level 1 into a level 2, and then eventually into a level 3. Once you progress into the level 3 stages, this is where you can also pick up other skills, such as piping up central heating boilers and learning about gas installations. To carry out gas installations on a central heating boiler, you have to be gas safe registered. And that's one of the things that you can learn at Leicester College, to learn those skills and then be able to take the assessments to be able to become gas safe registered. This is very popular with the slightly older people who come on the adult evening course, who tend to work during the day or even have jobs with plumbers during the day, but they need to pick up those qualifications. So we have various courses in the evening where you can come along and learn those skills and again do those assessments. From some of the slides you can see in the top corner, there's somebody who's put some pipe work on a board and it's being tested. That again is another one of the assessment tasks that you'll have to complete. Next. And so eventually into the level 3. As you can see from the 2 slides there, we've got part of an installation where we can see in the top corner the boiler, the pipework coming round with the central heating pump dropping down. That's also picking up on the outside edge there. You can see a hot water cylinder, and then alongside that you can see a central heating radiator. Now at level 3, these will be filled with water and the systems will be running. They'll be electrically connected, they'll be piped up to the gas, and these appliances we will teach you how to fit, commission, test, and they actually fire up. So they're, you know, real boilers, real working. The radiators get warm and the hot water is supplied to the hot water cylinders. And this is very much part of everyday type of plumbing that you'll eventually have to be as a plumber working in customers' houses. The second slide you can see there is a central heating wiring system, central heating controls. Now, in the main, these tend to be wired up by electricians, but because they're central heating controls, you can actually also learn at one of the add-on courses how to wire up these central heating systems. You have to be a qualified electrician to wire up various other systems, but these are external to the main wiring system. So with the correct tuition and learning the correct competence, you can work on these, and often they not have to diagnose problems or faults with a thermostat or a programmer, or as you can see at the bottom of the picture there, the motorized control valves, which they control the flow of water to one part of the system or to the other part of the system. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. That was really interesting. In fact, I never realised that. I thought the switch to plastic was the cheaper version, but you just explained it in the thing, and it's definitely a do not try this at home job. So
not without the correct tuition.
If you are interested in plumbing, Mike will be joining us right at the end again to answering your questions. So thank you for delivering that. I'm just going to remove you now and add in Derek. So hi, Derek. You okay?
Yeah, really good. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's crack on with your presentation.
Okay.
Okay, not that one. I'm sorry, I'm setting it up. And we got there.
Okay, thanks very much, Victoria. I'm going to have a chat to you today about opportunities for electrical courses. Okay. Again, one thing to start with when it comes to electrical courses at the college is that for full-time courses for young people coming in, looking to start at maybe level 1, level 2, level 3 courses, that all our courses are in fact study programs. Okay. And again, it's an important point to get across very early is that we have a big content of vocational. So just on the 2 graphs, the one on the left, that says a typical level 1 program, that's going to be between 550 and 600 hours. But just looking at the pie chart, there's a great big section there in grey that talks about the vocational course. So it's going to learn all the aspects of electrical installation. We also need to make sure that people who are studying on these programs get their maths and English. Okay, so if you've done the hard work on maths and English at GCSEs and come to us, well, there's opportunities to progress on to a level 3 course. If you still have some maths and English to complete, again, there's opportunities to do it. I think the two pie charts are fairly much the same. Again, the one on the right-hand side is for the level 2 study program, but your course will be made up of a vocational content, English and maths functional or potentially functional skills. You could have tutorial support. There's going to be some directed study to work under your own steam. And then we have work experience for the level 2 course and what we call World of Work for the level 1 course. Okay, if you could push on to the next slide, please, Victoria. Thank you. Again, something that's big that's happening within the college coming up for next year is going to be the introduction of T-levels. And again, these are being rolled out across the country. It's a new level 3 qualification. Okay, it's a classroom-based technical qualification. It will have some practical, some theory content to it. Lots of different components, as you can see in the second bullet point down. It involves a technical qualification, which are the types of qualifications we're delivering at the moment. Work placement, you can see maths and English are in there as well. And again, there's a requirement to have a minimum of level 2 in GCSEs in maths or English. Okay, we'll see on the next slide where we're going with that. They are transferable workplace skills. Sorry, Victoria, I prompted you there. If you could just jump back to me. They are transferable workplace skills. Okay, the T-levels is a 2-year program, which are equivalent to 3 A-levels. Okay, they're an alternative approach to apprenticeships or other 16 to 19 quals. Okay, they are unique in the fact that they've been developed and consulted by industry. So industry are telling us what they want. So people who are going to offer you jobs in the future have helped develop this qualification. So it's a 2-year qualification in what we now call the building services engineering sector. So Mike has talked to you a bit about plumbing. We're the other side of building services engineering, which is the electrical, and again, on-site construction. So next slide, please, Victoria. Again, down the left-hand side, it says these are options for 16 to 18-year-olds. At the college, we offer other options. We have evening courses, level 2, level 3 evening courses. On this one, we're just looking at the pathways for the September 2021 intake. So if we take a scenario where we go across the top row, okay, age 16 to 18 years old, if you've done your maths and English GCSEs in school and you've got 4 GCSEs at a grade 4, that will give you, well, you'll be eligible to enter for the T-level qualification in construction. Okay, and again, for us, we're talking about the electrical or plumbing option. Destination after you've done that 2-year program could be employment. You could progress on to higher level apprenticeships or higher education. If you take the middle row, if you've not completed all aspects of your maths and English, so you've not achieved the grade 4, okay, there is an opportunity to go on to a level 2 1-year transition program. Okay, again, that's going to get you ready for the T-levels. So 1-year program to get your maths and English up to speed, to get you some good technical knowledge and have you ready to do the kind of work required of T-levels. If you're not as academic as some people and you may not have got really good grades in your GCSEs, so you've got 1s or 2s, what we have is planned a 1-year pre-transition program. So that'd be a 1-year course. Okay, we do a lot of kind of basic practical skills in that, but it gives us an opportunity to get your maths and English up to speed. You could progress then on to the transition program and then progress on to the T-levels. Okay, next slide, Victoria. We do have certain requirements at the college in terms of our courses. Okay, we want attendance and timekeeping. Okay, we want attendance at 95%. Ideally, we want perfect timekeeping. The next thing we want is we need to make sure that students are going to be ready for the workplace. Okay, and we have a program which is called PSD, so the Personal Social Development Program. Again, this is things like getting your kind of soft skills ready, so getting your CV up to date, getting your interview technique sorted, and more or less being ready to take this qualification that you'll achieve at Leicester College and go out into the workplace with the skills you're going to need. It says participate and attend all MEC. Now, MEC is Maths and English Cross College, so it's a department within the college. And hopefully the emphasis is coming across that it is so important that your maths and English are up to the required level. Okay, because when it comes to any aspect of life in this day and age, we need to make sure we've got good maths and English skills. Okay, we need to make sure you've completed your vocational course. Okay, you've undertook some work experience and that you hold a positive report. Okay, so again, you're accountable for your own behavior at the college. In terms of a study program, well, again, we have what's called the Erasmus project. Okay, and this is an opportunity for learners who come to the college to spend some time overseas. Okay, at the moment we have projects in Seville and Porto. Okay, and it's an opportunity to go for maybe 4 weeks, based out in Seville, work for some local employers out there and get some construction-based skills. Okay, this is a great opportunity. It looks really good on your CV. Okay, and again, just a bit of value added from the course as well. Okay, so really good life skills out of that. We'll teach you how to cook. Okay, the Erasmus project is a unique opportunity to develop interpersonal skills, experience different cultures, etc. Okay, so if you give me the next slide there, Victoria, thank you. Okay, so in terms of electrical installation itself, I've just put a graphic down at the bottom there, which shows you everything from generation of electricity across to our household. And this is our sockets and lights around the house. But in terms of electrical installation, it is absolutely massive. The opportunities are electrical installation in buildings. It could be to do with electrical maintenance. One of the biggest sectors across the Midlands is food and drink sector. Okay, we're in the process of converting over to light electric aircraft. We've got electric trains, we've got electric cars, and all of these things need people with electrical skills. Okay, so electricians, electrical engineers, and the likes. Okay, next slide, Victoria, thank you. Okay, so why become an electrician? So working with electricity is fulfilling. Okay, the job never gets tedious. Okay, every day is going to be different jobs, different places of work. You're not stuck in one place. Again, the next bullet point tells us it's a very respected profession. Okay, well, there's a certain element of risk associated with working with electricity, and that's why we need to make sure when we train you that we're training you to be competent. Okay, that you've got the skills and the confidence required for you to carry out the jobs that need doing. Okay, to keep the world ticking over. Skill shortage, again, if you're to look at the data on this one, they're talking about over the next 10 years, about 130,000 jobs becoming available as electricians. Okay. Again, it is a career for life. Okay. We're completely dependent upon electricity now. It's not going anywhere. Next slide, please. Okay. So in terms of electrician, well, again, we've got electricians who specialize in lots of different sectors. Okay. So we could have people that go around and do the wiring in your house. Okay, we could have commercial installation electricians who are dealing with shops and offices and the likes. We've also got industrial electricians who are dealing with the wiring and accessories that go into factories. There's also alarm systems, access control for buildings. You've got your smart homes. We've got electric cars, so electric vehicle charging points now. The closed circuit TV, we've got low voltage work, and we've got building management as well. Okay, so more or less everything you look at around the house is going to be either run by electricity or controlled by electricity. Okay, and with the skills you have as an installation electrician, you'll be able to deal with these and fix them. Okay, and change the world you live in. Okay.
Thank you, Derek. That was really informative. I think it's very good that you've touched base as well with the work experience you can get abroad. Not a lot of students think that you can do that along doing a more practical course. It is usually associated when you go to university, for instance. So what a fantastic opportunity our students do have. And that's just not available in your area, but several areas across construction as well. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to remove you quickly and I'll bring in Nick to discuss our apprenticeship options. So hi, Nick, you all right?
Very well, thank you, Victoria. So I'll just have a very quick discussion about apprenticeships at Leicester College. Leicester College has got its standalone department within the college called APCO. Within the college, we offer apprenticeships, a full range across all sectors. Now, what I'm going to just talk about is the sectors of mainly construction and what we call C-Tech. With an apprenticeship, you are employed by normally a local employer. You are paid and you will then come to college on either a day release or block release during the time of your apprenticeship. Now, it depends on the route you undertake. I will just go through a couple of routes that you can take depending on the area you want to be in. We offer electrical installation apprenticeships, which are at level 3, and they are for 4 years. We offer gas apprenticeships at level 3. We also offer apprenticeships in craft. So we offer brick apprenticeships at level 2, which are 30 months. Plastering apprenticeships, level 2 for 30 months. Painting and decorating apprenticeships, level 2, 30 months. We also offer carpentry and joinery apprenticeships at level 2 and level 3. We also offer apprenticeships in bench and also property maintenance. Now, property maintenance is 24 months, level 2. Now, property maintenance is an aspect of all trades: painting, tiling, plumbing, electrical, etc. And you are qualified as a property maintenance operative. Now, with an apprenticeship, like I said, you are employed, and any apprenticeship can last anything between 2 to 4 years. What you've got to remember with an apprenticeship, and I believe Derek touched on this, and possibly Mike, all apprenticeships require functional skills level 2 maths and English. So you must be aware, if you do not have these, you will have to gain them, which you will do alongside your apprenticeship at Leicester College. You will spend approximately 20% of your time of an apprenticeship at college. The remaining 80% will be done on site. Now, this can be a building site, it can be a domestic installation, it can be local, it can be anywhere in the country, it can even be abroad. So one thing you've got to remember as an apprentice, you will be traveling up and down the country. You will not necessarily be working 9 till 5. You could be working 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, plus traveling. You could be working away, which what we call that lodging out in possibly what we call digs. It depends who you work for. Now, what you've got to remember as well is, as a college, we offer apprenticeships, but it's down for you as the individual to gain the employer in the first place. Now, we do have vacancies on the website, Leicester College website, but they are limited. So there are other websites like the government apprenticeship website, but a lot of apprenticeships are gained, or a lot of employers are gained by family members. Could be mum, dad, brother, uncle, auntie. It could be a family friend. It could be a word of mouth. Also, it could be advertised through local media or social media. Like I said, as a college, we offer apprenticeships across all sectors. But like I said, we're here today mainly to talk about plumbing, electrical, gas, and craft. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. That was really interesting. Yes, what I'll do is in the comment section below, I'll put them links for the apprenticeship. So if you're interested in those areas, you can go and have a look for yourselves. I'm just going to bring back in Derek and Mike. And we just got if we just spend a few minutes answering questions. Sorry, it's been a long evening. I'm losing my words. So one question we do get quite regularly is, do I have to buy any tools or equipment, and what will it cost?
Is this aimed at plumbing?
It's aimed at both of you, so if you like to both answer.
Okay, yeah. In depending on the student's current financial situation, there is a bursary that can supply the boots and overalls which are necessary in the workplace and in the workshops, which also includes a small hand toolkit. We do supply tools, but as people get further into the trade, they might wish to start to buy their own set of kit to build up gradually. It is quite expensive, so you build up it a little bit at a time, screwdrivers, grips, etc. Do you have to buy any tools in the first instance? No, we will supply them. However, we do recommend that you do start to purchase the basic tools.
Fantastic. What about you, Derek?
Yeah, just on the electrical side, much the same as Mike. Again, most of the tools are going to be provided. We do encourage learners to start their toolkit, particularly for electrical, with a set of screwdrivers, some cutters, pair of pliers. We also have to make sure they wear the PPE. So if you take into account overalls, safety boots, screwdrivers, as we said, cutters and pliers, it may come to about £100. Again, as Mike has quite rightly said, there are bursaries available. So depending on people's individual circumstances and stuff, there is support available through the college.
Fantastic, thank you guys. If you're interested in finding out more about the finance, we did a video yesterday and it's available on our Facebook and YouTube channel to watch, and it discusses the Learner Support Fund that will help you obtain that equipment. So another question we get asked is, do I have to sit any exams to pass the course?
I'll go for that one then, yeah. Obviously, it depends on the level. So again, if it was a level 1 course, predominantly the work is kind of assessed as you go along. So there's no kind of formal exams. There are assessments that we continue during the class. We do about 85% practical on the level 1 courses and about 15% theory. As you progress into level 2 courses, there are some more formal assessments. So there's an end test that comes up usually around kind of April, May time. And there's also what we call synoptics. So we have practical assessments just to check the learner skills on level 2. Fairly much the same on level 3, an end test. Again, you might take that end test around about the end of April, May time. If you're unsuccessful in that, there's another opportunity to take it around about June time. Okay, and we also have practical.
Fantastic. And yourself, Mike, is there any exams in your course?
Yeah, with the level 1, there's 9 small end tests. So we deliver the theory and the knowledge first, and you do the test straight afterwards, and then there's practical tasks. However, when you get to the level 2 stages and the level 3 stages, it's a little bit like the GCSEs, very similar with the electrical, whereby you go through the different modules, the different subjects, the different knowledge, and then there's one big exam at the end. You do get 2 chances. There's a resit available, but obviously we like to make sure that you've learned enough through the year to be able to get through it and pass in the first go. The level 3, obviously, same again, modules, topics, subjects, 1 exam at the end, and then there's also a series of practical tasks as well at the end, but a bit more in depth at level 3.
Fantastic. And just a follow-up from that, especially when they go into becoming maybe a plumber or electrician, and they have to do like updated courses, update their certificates, is there exams in those sorts of qualifications as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. To become a fully qualified electrician would require you getting the underpinning knowledge on the courses that we've discussed so far, the level 1 course, the level 2, level 3. But to become a fully qualified electrician, you'll need to complete a regs course. Okay, that's BS 7671, the wiring regulations course. Along with that, you may need to have a professional qualification, the inspection and test qualification. You might also need to do a trade test, which is called AM2, so it's Achievement Measurement 2. So again, it's not as straightforward as doing 1 course at college and then you're a fully qualified electrician. again, with the courses that we're offering to part-time evening students and to full-time students, if they don't get experience in the workplace, they need to get some experience in the workplace, because to become a fully qualified electrician in the UK, it's a combination of qualifications and competence, so carrying out the job.
Okay, what about you, Mike? Is there any additional qualifications, exams that you have to take throughout your career as a plumber?
Yeah. As I say, well, learning the basics at level 1 and then progressing to level 2, your intermediate level, then obviously to your advanced level at level 3. Once you get through that level 3 with us, there is the opportunity to take some shorter courses. You could progress onto the gas, which obviously is a lot more involved. That will have end assessments, which will be both practical and theory, because that does lead to a competence, which eventually then leads to be able to get gas safe registered. There's other competences as well, such as the water regulations and unvented hot water. Again, both of those are licensed, which means that you have to be competent to work in that particular area. Again, it will involve some end tests and some practical tasks to ensure that you're able to understand the knowledge and perform the practical work where necessary.
Fantastic. I really appreciate you guys explaining that one, and don't get scared off by the word tests. I've seen these areas and they prep you so well for them, and the practical assessments, you will most likely pass it with flying colours.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do one more question. I realise I've took a bit more of your time than originally planned. Maybe Nick, you could answer this. What if I'm successful in gaining an apprenticeship while doing a full-time course?
Now, this is very, very common. So Derek and Mike, they've been talking about full-time courses. Now, let's not forget, Derek mentioned that they are actually called study programs, but they are the same thing. A full-time course means that you're at college anything between 3 to 5 days a week. Now, if you were to gain an apprenticeship during the process of a full-time course, the advice and guidance that would be given would be to continue to complete the year you are doing at that time. Do not just stop and move over. Now, if you were to gain an apprenticeship within 2 to 3 weeks of a full-time course, then that's fair enough. Then you would move over. Let's use, for argument's sake, let's say an electrical apprenticeship is 4 years. If you've already done 1 year as a full-time learner, that will then map across to the apprenticeship. So you would not repeat the year you've already done. So again, the advice and guidance would be carry on and complete that year, then move into your apprenticeship the year after. Now, again, it depends on time scales. Like I said, if you're only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks into a full-time course, then move over. But if you've only got 5 or 6 weeks left of that course, then you would be advised to complete the course, complete that year, then move over. And it's quite a simple move over. You don't have to do anything about it. And all the units you've completed as a full-time learner will then map over to your apprenticeship.
That's great, Nick. Thank you. That's some really good advice there. And we hope that the employer will probably be flexible if you've only got a couple of weeks left on your course. So I'm going to round it up there today. Thank you so much, guys, for doing this. It's been really informative. And if you are interested in apprenticeship, any of these courses in plumbing and electrical, you can go to our website. They are all listed below. If you feel like you need to get more information, then you can visit there. If you are really, really interested and you've been inspired, you can apply to us from now. Those are for courses in the evening, or if you're looking to come to us next September. If you're not sure how to apply, you can go straight to our website. And if you have any further questions this evening, you can email the info centre and they will pass them along to our team. So thank you guys for joining me and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.